do we have a fantasy star on our hands here, George? Here is the question with Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. A lot of folks went into the fantasy season saying, hey, look, maybe this isn't Anthony Richardson, but it could be the next best thing. I'm here to tell you, I don't know. I'm sort of feeling like Daniels could be better than Anthony Richardson.
I don't know if I'm going to go there yet, all right? But I think he's in the conversation, yeah. What did we hear at draft time? A lot of people wanted a quarterback who could move, right? You don't want the guy who's going to take 5-7 steps and throw the football anymore because you want that additional rushing yards. You know, you get 50, 60 yards, that's a touchdown, right? That's why Josh Allen is so valuable. Lamar Jackson is so valuable, right? You go up and down. Jalen Hurts. You go up and down here. I think Daniels is going to be a good quarterback. I think Washington got their guy, and he can throw the football too. We know McLaurin's a really good wide receiver. It may not be much else there. We'll see what McCaffrey can be. Luke McCaffrey can be there in time. But, you know, I do have hope for him. I think at season's end, he's going to be a quarterback one. It may be a low-end quarterback one, but a quarterback one nonetheless.
Yeah, I was really impressed watching him in that game. All right, now Anthony Richardson, look, he's going to have a big year. He's going to have a big fantasy year. There's no question about it. I don't know about the long-term viability here. And look, give him credit. He hung in there with the Houston Texans. My fear for him, George, is that when you go back and you watch film, if you protect the deep ball against Richardson, he could hurt you with his legs. And that may be where all of his fantasy value is coming from. I cannot see him throwing 2 70-yard bombs like he did again.
That should come in time, right? Practice time. I think he will get better here. I think Richardson is going to be fine. Does need to learn how to avoid hits. All right. Once again, that hit. Remember that hit from Tua last night? He initiated it. Slide. The rules are made for you not to get hit. Take advantage of them.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun. 120-minute full-court press, and it's a special edition of the Monday Night Meltdown. January 6, 2002, the Rageolution began. And I've always found it amusing that our start date, January 6, 2002, is now known in infamy for the day that the Capitol was stormed. And I figure, you know what? You know, we're all about revolutions. We stormed the sports industry on a January 6th. So my date's been overshadowed in the big picture of the history books. But great to be here. And we're ready to rock and roll. Mick Aussie will join us tonight. In past years on the anniversary show, we've gotten past guests on, and we've gone down memory lane and stuff like that. But there's no time to live in the past right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. We've only got 120 minutes to do it this evening. And also, 23 is cool. I'm glad to be here. But, 25, that's when we're going to go all out. Live shows, and, it'll be a big deal if we can get to 25. But Mick Aussie's been on the show. We've been on for 23 years. I think Mick's been a guest for like 22. Longest standing guest. So we will kick it old school. Mick Aussie in the house. Joe Madden in the house. George Kurtz kicks it with us, and of course, the Raging Redhead, Cam Stewart. So we got a full house on the program tonight. College football, FCS championship game. It's a good one right now. It didn't look like the game was going to go over the number, man. It was low scoring. There were like 11-minute drives, 9-minute drives. They were scoring, but it was taking forever. Both football teams, and North Dakota State have been scoring more than Montana State, but the Bobcats won't go away. And this is incredible. In the last 13 years, North Dakota State have won 9 championships, man. Like this would be their 10th championship in 14 years if they're able to hang on and win this football game. They're up by 3 right now, 35-32. Montana State were down 10 with like 2.5 left. They just stormed down the field, scored a quick touchdown, and they even saved 2 timeouts in the process of doing it, which I don't really, I think you probably could have used them considering it's onside kick or bust right now. You only have 2 timeouts. You can't really kick the ball off with 1 minute and 9 seconds left and 2 timeouts. So you don't really have a choice here. You probably should have used some of these timeouts, but they did score quickly. And it's 35-32 for North Dakota State. So now the game comfortably goes over the number. People will look at this and you think, oh, I should have bet the over. If you wanted to bet the over and you didn't bet this game, don't feel bad, all right? It was 3 hours of stress. This game did not go over the number until there was 2 minutes left. And it sort of skyrocketed now. There's been a bunch of points, like, late in this football game. The fourth quarter has been wild in Frisco, Texas. The crowd is wild as well. Both these crowd fan bases are bringing it, man. They're both like, it has like a CFL feel, right? It's cold out there in Texas, but it's not cold to the fans. You got a bunch of drunk fans and kids, and, so a lot of them aren't wearing shirts. Everybody seems to be double fisting the drinks in the stadium. It's a great atmosphere in there. Yeah, they scored 28 points in the fourth quarter combined. That's where, it was 14-0. It was only 21-3 at the half. There's been 43 points scored. Here's the onside kick. I think somebody called timeout before the kick. They're lucky they did because it was a bad onside kick. All right, so we got a full house on the program. We got action going on. Let's get down to business for what's coming up right now. Let's start off in the National Hockey League, actually. The Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks are tied at 4 late. Shocking developments as the Buffalo Sabres blew a lead tonight, but they actually won the game in overtime. So the Sabres actually beat the Washington Capitals, 4-3 final score. Vancouver and Montreal thought this game would be a higher scoring game. 4-4 right now with a minute left. Panthers scored an early goal on the Avalanche, but the Devils and the Kraken are dropping a puck in like 1 or 2 minutes here. They seem to really start at 10:07 these NHL games. I'm going to go under 6. Let's go under the 6. Let's take the Seattle Kraken plus 1.5. All right, so Kraken plus 1.5. I don't think the Devils should be this big of favorites. The Devils are minus 245 favorites. The Kraken aren't a good team, but they're not a bad team. Right? Whatever. They're 17-20. They're a little below 500. They can win. They can lose. They're just sort of okay. The Devils are good, but the Devils have been on the road. Like I said, to me, the price is just too high. Here's the onside kick. Oh, dear God, you had the opportunity. That actually was a pretty good onside kick, man. Like Buddy on Montana State, the kicker, he really couldn't have done much better. I swear, there was like there was like 2 dudes on Montana State. Like, did you guys like realize the ball was like bouncing past you? Like, there's a flag on the play though, so I'm not really sure what happened. But all things considering, that was a pretty good onside kick. Like he gave his team a chance, but it's like the dudes like didn't see it. I don't know how. Was it illegal touching? Didn't go as far as I thought? Nevertheless, let me get the bet in here. Seattle Kraken plus 1.5 and under 6. I actually do want to see what the 6.5 is, just if there's any. Let's if we have to pay any. What's the juice on the under 6.5 in this game? All right, NHL Kraken plus 1.5. Nothing crazy. It's a little Monday night hockey action. We just lost the Capitals in overtime. We hit the over 1.5 in the first period of the Canucks and the Canadiens, and we've got the Canucks. So we're 1-1 right now on the ice, and the Canucks and the Canadiens, who knows what will happen in overtime here. The Canucks seem to lose in overtime a lot, and the Canadiens are a pretty good overtime, and the Canadiens are a good shootout team. They have a lot of skill. Vancouver have skill too, but the Canucks are a little beat up right now. All right, yeah, the total is 6.5 at minus 160, so it is pricey. The Devils have been a big-time under team. Though people don't realize this. With Sheldon Keefe coming in here, the Devils have turned into an under team. Remember, I bet the under in the first game of the year when they played in the Czech Republic. So, yeah, they've become an under team. The Kraken are kind of like, their games kind of go over. They've been on a little overrun a bit. They seem to like win or lose like 4-2 every night, the Kraken. But we're going to go under the 6.5 here. I'm not expecting a ton of goals in this hockey game. So we're getting 6.5 right now, minus 150 actually, as we just dropped the puck. And we're in. NBA basketball, we got the turmoil with Jimmy Butler. Does anybody really care, man? It's like hearing, they might trade Bradley Beal in Phoenix. Like, who cares, bro? Like, the NBA media live in the past so much. It's like, like, seriously. You're talking about these players that are in their late 30s. It doesn't matter, right? Oh, there's Jonathan Tays going to sign. Who cares? You know what I mean? You want to talk about something for the sake of it? There's other things we can talk about, like this Jimmy Butler. Like, people get all excited. Oh, Jimmy Butler is going to, oh, yeah, whatever. Just like when Paul George is going to go to Philadelphia and make them win, right? Just like the Clippers are going to win with all these old dudes. Just like, the Phoenix Suns, right? Look, the Phoenix Suns want to break it up. They realize this isn't working. People in the NBA need to realize these teams, like, don't bring in these brand name players. How to work out for the Brooklyn Nets. They're still rebuilding right now. Think about it. The Brooklyn Nets had Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Allen, Joe Harris. Who else? Whoever else was on that team. I used to go to the games. Oh, Karis LeVert, my boy Karis LeVert. They had like this team. Kenny Atkinson was the coach. How's he doing now with Cleveland? Kenny Atkinson was the coach. The Brooklyn Nets made the playoffs, and they actually were building something. They competed. They fought hard against the Sixers in the playoffs. And what do? They fired Atkinson, traded everybody, and brought in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. How'd that work out? Look at the teams that have won championships in the NBA. They're pretty much teams that have stuck together. The Denver Nuggets, the Boston Celtics, the Raptors for the most part, besides bringing in Kawhi, it was sort of the same team over and over again, right? Like these teams that live in the past, man. Like, you live in the past, you die in the past. Give me the Sacramento Kings over the Miami Heat. Let's roll. This is Sports Rage.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all people.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet. Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll the Monday Night Meltdown. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency. SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. We can tell you that the North Dakota State Bison have just won their 10th national championship in the last 14 years as 4.5-point underdogs. They cash the ticket. They win the football game outright, 35-32. Really kind of not as close as the final score would indicate. They were always a step ahead. They were up 21-3. Montana State cut the lead to 3. But every time that Montana State would cut the lead to 3, North Dakota State responded with a touchdown after. So it's not a case of, if there's a couple of more minutes left in the game. North Dakota State seemingly were the better football team. Heartbreak for Montana State. They haven't won a championship since 1984. And they're in tears right now on the sidelines. A 15-0 season comes to an end with a loss, crushing, including, don't forget, they started the season with a win against the New Mexico Lobos. And North Dakota State wins the football game. Hell of a program, North Dakota State. North Dakota State have rejected overtures. They've been invited to join conferences in the past. They like being the kingpins, right? And I think it's kind of a smart move, right? They got their own thing going. They sell out the Fargo Dome all the time. They move into another conference, suddenly paradise is lost, and they're not the big kingpins anymore, and it won't be as dominant. They seem to like the world that they live in right now. So a big-time win there. And we can tell you, of course we can tell you, because I was on the Washington Capitals, and they lose in overtime, but I was on the Vancouver Canucks. And the Montreal Canadiens have just beaten the Vancouver Canucks 5-4, final score in the Belle Province in Montreal. And speaking of Montreal, 23 years ago tonight, this program was born. The evolution of the Rage-olution began. It's pretty close, actually. It was a Sunday night. Our first show ever was on a Sunday night. And our first ever phone call that we took, we went to the phone lines about 10 minutes into the program on CFMB. I think it was 1280 or 1290 or something like that. Pretty high on the dial. And we went to the phone lines, and somebody said, welcome to CFMB, F-face, and then hung up. That was the first ever call I took there.
Amazing.
And,
great start. That's great.
I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't planning on kind of sports rage and all that. I was just going to be a normal sports dude. I took a call. The first person said, welcome to CFMB, F-face. Then I took a couple of normal other calls. Then I got a couple of others. Go F yourself. Where's the dating show? I replaced the dating show, and they didn't announce it. I just showed up. There used to be some sort of loser. Yeah, there was a loser dating show, Cam, on the radio. And I replaced it. So they were all mad. They're like, where's Julie? Where's the dating show? Like, they're all like, I was like, I don't know. I don't know about any dating show. This show's the new show here. And then after about 4 or 5 people telling me to go F myself, I said, you know what? The address of the station is 15 Claremont Street. I said, the show's over at 2 a.m. I'll be waiting outside to bash anyone's head in with a brick. And I said, you got a problem? I said, I'll be outside. I said, I'm walking home after the show. I'll be outside about 5 minutes after the show's over. I started threatening people. And the next morning, the boss called me. It was for my first ever show. And I was thinking, oh boy, I don't know what this is. Maybe I'm done already. I just started. He goes, hey, I listened to your show last night. Great debut. You've definitely got something going on there. But he goes, don't give the address out ever again. Yeah, exactly. He said a host once did that years ago. Somebody threw a brick through our front window. He goes, don't give the address out anymore, but keep it up. Don't give the address up. I was like, yeah, thanks, sir. All right, thanks. And the rest is history. SportsRage was born. So yeah, North Dakota State wins. We'll bring Joe Madden in a second here, but Cam, NHL hockey. You got the Devils and Kraken going off the board right now. And in fact, we played 7 minutes. I'm on the under in this hockey game, but I'm on the Seattle Kraken plus 1.5 in this game. Scoreless 7 minutes in.
I guess we could both be happy because I have the Devils and the back end of a parlay with Buffalo, of course, Gabe. And I was pretty lucky to win that game after they blew a lead as usual. But I know it. I like your play there with the under 5.5. I could see the Devils kind of winning a 2-1 type of game, 3-1. They don't want to get into a shootout. They've been playing pretty poorly on the West Coast as well. Seattle's been playing a bit better, but I think New Jersey wins. I don't know if they win by margin, but live bet for me, Gabe. You want to give me the Avalanche plus 200? I'll take it down. Only 1 goal. That's going to be my live play for the show. The plus 1.5 is minus 170 on FanDuel Ontario. Too much juice, so I'll take the Avalanche 2-1, please.
All right, Cam's going to jump in on the Avalanche right now. Shout out to our boy Steve Rockamaniac in the house. Big night for you, Steve. Steve's a SportsRage Hall of Famer. He was actually there. He's one of the few people that could say he listened to the first show, and he's here right now 23 years later. It's been a lot of Rageaholics that have come and gone, so good to see you, Rockamaniac. And Steve, of course, is hosting his own wrestling show over the years. And a big night tonight, WWE debuted on Netflix. Speaking of evolutions, now Netflix, WWE, Monday Night Raw on Netflix from now on. Telling you, one day soon, man, not that far, you're going to be like the Super Bowl is going to be on Netflix.
You're right.
Everything, like people that complain about the digital, I can't believe one playoff game's on Amazon. Get used to it. Like, this is the future.
Vancouver-Montreal game was on Amazon tonight as well. Gabe, those Monday night hockey games are on Amazon. That's life. You said it. It's just going to get more and more and more. You know it.
The streaming services have deep pockets, just like Joe Madden, who will join us on the other side. She's got very deep pockets, Joe.
Deep pockets. Joe's rich.
High rolling in Seatown. Joe Madden will join us on the other side as her Chargers will be the first game up against the Houston Texans in the National Football League playoffs, as the Stone Cold's lock of the century was that the Texans would be the first game on TV this weekend.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're kicking it. The Monday Night Meltdown 120-minute full court press has begun. Our 23rd anniversary. In the past, we've done live shows and we've had parties and stuff like that. But, you know, it's Monday night. It's the middle of the winter. And, 23 is cool. But we'll have a big bash. We had that poll up before where we should have the 25th anniversary. But truth be told, we should probably have a couple of shows and just sort of spread them around. There's a couple of cities, I think, that we've got to do them in. Thanks to Brandon. Hey, what's up, Brandon, the mailman in the house? I don't think it's the original mailman. There's been a few mailmans over the years, but I remember the mailman from Montreal. I think you met him, Cam, actually. And I told you, I see this guy, the mailman. He's a Yankee, Duke, and Laker fan. Remember he said, what's up? he's like Captain Front Runner. I used to call him. I said, yeah, Front Runner, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I met a lot of interesting buddies of yours. The best is after the show, if people don't know. Me and Gabe go to this party. This guy's like mom's house. She's there. She's like, keep it down. We're watching like freaking Motley Crue videos on VHS and cranking beers. Like, we met a lot of characters, Gabe. That was what a wild night at Trophies. I guess that's where you used to have your road rages there with the people. But yeah, a lot of characters as part of the Rage Illusion. A lot of great guys.
Yeah, Sports Rage really wouldn't have been the same without all the cast of lunatic callers, characters, guests, and everybody. It's tough now. People die off over the years. People come and go. Now as well, when you've been around this long, the media landscape changes as well, right? Like now it's, basically gambling. It's, we're in a full-out gambling, betting world right now. Right, you could resurrect Gordie Howe from the dead and interview him, and people wouldn't care. Hey, Morency, who do you like in the second period? Any same-game parlays? It's like, hey, we're speaking of Gordie Howe's ghost here. I'd be like, I don't know, like, people don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's so true. Like, it's the best.
It's gonna be, hey, we got Wayne Gretzky on. People be like, hey, Morency, who do you think? Who do you like in the college football playoff game? It doesn't matter. Like, I realized that a couple of years ago. I'm like, yeah, these people just don't. It doesn't. People don't really care. But we got Joe Madden in the house. So, Joe, good to see you. And the Devils have broken through and taken a 1-0 lead right now. So the Devils are up 1-0 with 9 minutes left. And, oh, boy, they're already minus 2.5 because they were such big favorites. Who do you like tonight in the NHL, Joe? 1-0 Panthers and 1-0 Devils now.
Yeah, so looking at the Florida Panthers, Colorado Avalanche, I was hoping Colorado would score first so we could come in on the Florida Panthers plus 1.5 because I just wanted to get a better number there. With Colorado scoring first, so nowhere to go because that plus 1.5 is minus 170. I think this is a game that goes to OT. So I did take it to go to overtime. I took the under, but you're not going to get a good number now. It's 3.5 live number on that one. And I did lay the puck and a half with the New Jersey Devils. I understand the team has been playing so poorly, but what I looked at in this one is they have to get back on track before they head home. They've got the Rangers on deck and then they head home and they got some really tough opponents. So I expected offensively to open up, especially against Grubauer. I just don't trust him in goal.
And I understand that. Good teams that struggle on the road, they like to close strong on the way out. And Seattle are an erratic team. Seattle are kind of like a lot of sort of modern NHL teams. They're not great at home. For whatever reason. You figure, new team, their fan base is pretty loud. It's pretty cool in there. It's a pretty good atmosphere that they have at their games, but they're not a great home team, right? They don't take advantage of it. Teams seem to, they lose a lot at home. So, yeah, 1-0 in that game and 1-0 for the Panthers over the Avalanche. Low-scoring game, as Joe stated, just 3.5. The Sacramento Kings are down 20-15 right now to the Miami Heat, but of course the Miami Heat team that's suspended Jimmy Butler and a Sacramento Kings team that have won 4 straight basketball games. It's 2015. The Kings seem to be a little sloppy starting off here, so it could be an opportunity to jump in on them. They're still 2.5-point favorites, actually. They're down by 7 right now, but I do think the Kings are going to win this basketball game, guys. Any NBA for you, Cam, tonight or college basketball?
I'm jumping in now, too, Gabe, on FanDuel. I'm getting pick them like on the spread minus 120, money line down 7, 22-15. I like Sacramento. I couldn't agree with you more. These guys are going to come in after the half and get it done in the second half against this game. They're notorious slow starters, so I like that line. I don't have to lay anything. Just win the damn game.
Joe, any basketball for you, Joe?
Yeah, I took the over in this game. I can't remember exactly what that number was at close, but at 217.5, I'd still be looking to take it over in this one now.
I'm thinking about jumping in on the Minnesota Golden Gophers plus 3.5 points in-game college basketball.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. We're throwing it down. SportsGrid Radio Networks. Shout out to everybody joining us on X right now in our chat. What's up, Lamb? Thank you very much. Good to see you, Lamb. Our boy Johnny Kicknuts in L.A. In the house. G-Man in Montreal. Throwing it down. Chris Ward in Texas. We got Rageaholics from all over the place joining us tonight. That's the great thing about the Rage Illusion. There really are people everywhere. So thanks for stepping up tonight. Couple of games going on. Now it's sort of the calm before the storm. We were looking forward to the college football national championship game tonight. And next up, we got the college football playoffs on Thursday night. Thursday and Friday night, the semifinals. Penn State and Notre Dame are up first on Thursday night. But we've got NFL playoffs starting on Saturday. Joe Madden's a Charger fan. Chargers are 3-point road favorites against the Houston Texans. Totals 42.5. And the last 9 times that the Houston Texans have been in the playoffs, they have been the Saturday afternoon 4:30 football game. It really is like, it's almost become an NFL tradition right now that we can't change. It's like, yeah, the Texans are in a, like, the only way, Houston, you're ever not going to be the first game is if you get the bye. Like, literally in favor. Like, say, like, your only way out of this right now. It's a sure shot. There's a couple of teams that are just sure shots to get the slots that they're going to get. And, you know, I tweeted out on Sunday, and me and Kurtz had fun with it the other night. And he was like, damn, did you get every one of them right? I predicted, guys, where every playoff game and what time it would be on at. Knowing the TV markets and knowing how the NFL thinks, I'm like, they're not putting Buffalo and Denver on primetime TV. Right, just point blank. And also, they don't want it to be too cold. They're going to put Buffalo Sunday at 1. I was right. Like, I got one wrong. And the Houston Texans, 9 straight years, they've been the first game up. And the Chargers get the honor at 4:30. So, Joe, are your Chargers going to beat the Houston Texans? This Harbaugh in his first season with the Chargers takes him to the playoffs because that's how much of a stud that he is. Now, can he win the game against the Houston Texans? Who do you like, Joe?
I think
It's going to be an absolute challenge here because we know the Chargers love to get up and then run the clock, bleed the clock out, and hold on to that lead. And versus the Texans with this defense, it's going to be harder to do so. But I do think the Chargers are the better team. CJ Stroud has struggled down the stretch. He's lost so many weapons out there that Jim Harbaugh should be able to find a way to get the win in this elite coaching here by him to get the Chargers in this position. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to look at this one to stay under that total. I just look at this and I look at the Chargers game plan. Unless CJ Stroud's able to push them to overtime, I do think it stays under the number. And I'm hoping the Chargers win, but I don't think it's as easy as everyone thinks, right? Everyone's like, okay, whoever gets the Texans is going to get the win. But this Texans team, they might shock us out here, Gabe. I'm just hoping they don't.
I think the Texans are still a pretty good team. Their problem is they're just so injured, right? They've never been themselves. Their offense has never been able to click this year because there's been one injury after another. They're just sort of like they're like a basketball team that's never really had all their starters on the field together at once. So they are imperfect, but they're still a well-coached team. And I agree with your total look here. I don't think this is going to be a track meet. Harbaugh, you know what Harbaugh is going to do. Harbaugh is going to run the ball like over and over and over, and he's going to do a little play action with Justin Herbert. Cam, what's your pick for the Chargers and the Texans?
Well, it's three's a crowd because I love the under in this game. It was the first thing that popped out. I want to take the Chargers. It's going to be a defensive battle, right? And that's what the Chargers want to do. They want to pound the rock, and just try to wear down Houston over time. And the Chargers have the defensive line to keep Stroud in check. I think it's going to be a lot of defense. Both teams, though, ironically, Gabe, we talk about overs. Two good kickers. Fairbairn is pretty good for the Houston Texans, and Dicker, the kicker for the Chargers. This guy nuts everything. He's one of the best. So we will have some long field goals in these games, but I'm seeing more field goals than touchdowns. I like the under and the Chargers to win the game. I'm thinking like 23-17 type of game, just staying under the number.
You know what? It's 42.5. So like I said, I can't argue it, but it's not in my nature to bet unders. And 24-21, we lose that bet, which that could be an easy final score here. I do one thing. I lean with the Chargers in this game, and I think obviously I'm going to tease a lot of these playoff games. But the one thing that I like about the Chargers, and I'm not in love with them, but I think the difference maker is Justin Herbert. Herbert hasn't had an opportunity to play in a lot of big games in the NFL, right? And they had, you had the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars where he played well. He played extremely well in the Rose Bowl that he played in. So I believe in Herbert, Joe, in a big game, right? Like, I think that Herbert, there's always the question mark, all right, what's the quarterback? And I believe in Harbaugh in a big game. Harbaugh's a national champion winner. I mean, at this time last year, he was preparing for the national championship. It was actually a year ago to tonight. So he was preparing for the national championship and won. He's been in the Super Bowl before, right? He's been there. He's done that. He knows how to prepare for a playoff game, preparing in a week's notice, how to shorten the game, how to maximize your strengths. And to me, the best player on the field is Justin Herbert. So you've got Harbaugh and you've got the better quarterback. You've got a good defense. It'll be close. Like you guys said, it should end up under them. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if it was 2017, right? If they actually won by 3. I don't think it should be 3. I think the game should be a pick 'em personally. I don't think the Chargers should be 3-point favorites, but I do believe in Justin Herbert. The Steelers, we told you guys this last night a bunch of times during the Viking and the Lion game when we were talking about the advanced numbers here. And I said, remember it was 8, it was 8.5. And I said, guys, they're going to get this thing to 10 because everybody is going to tease these games this week. And they don't want to be vulnerable. And they're going to get it up. They don't want to lay the 2.5s on the 7-point teasers with the Baltimore Ravens. And that's why the Ravens are up to 10 right now. Don't be surprised if it gets to 10.5 because everybody is still going to say, well, you know what? I'm getting the Ravens at -3 here. What are you doing, Joe, with the Pittsburgh Steelers and a Baltimore Raven game?
I think I'm going to look at some props. I'm first going to look at Derrick Henry. We know how strong he was versus Pittsburgh Steelers. In that last game they played, he put up, 162 rushing yards out there, and I expect him to really have a lot of work on the ground. But I do think this is another game that could be a lower scoring game. You look at the weather rolling into Baltimore, and it's not going to be pretty out there. And I'm cautious though, because I want to look here at the Steelers because we're going to get so many points. But I do think this is another one where Baltimore is such a stronger team that I'm almost ready to lay the points with them. So I'm right on the edge. I do think a lower scoring game though for me, Gabe.
All right, on Sunday, before we get you out of here, we got about a minute and a half or so. You got the Bills, Broncos, Packers, Eagles, Commanders, Bucks, and then Monday the Vikings, Rams. What do you like, Joe, in the NFL?
Oh, I love this slate. I'm looking at Denver plus the points because I think this defense is going to come out really strong. Josh Allen's been playing fantastic, but I think they get the win. I just don't think they cover. It's 8.5, 9 on some books I'm seeing out there. Between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles, I will look at this one over the 45.5. I think we're going to get some more points than expected in this. The Washington Commanders versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. This one, I do think Washington plus the points. I actually could see Washington pulling off the upset in it. And then the Rams, give me the Rams plus 1.5 versus the Vikings. The Vikings are a better team than they did play versus the Lions, but I think the Rams are really going to push them in that matchup.
We're going to find out if Sam Darnold got it out of his system, right? The big game, and okay, now I'm going to settle down after, getting it out of the way, or if he's just that bad in big games when it gets real. Like he was rattled last night. Like, he's remember the day he said he saw ghosts when he was with the Jets on the sideline. So as I'm seeing ghosts, he was seeing more than ghosts. He was seeing goblins and everything else last night. Just completely rattled. I don't know how he turns that around in a week's time. Like the Rams are going to do the same thing to him that the Lions did. Thank you, Joe.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. The Pistol Players, the Hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. It's our 23rd anniversary program. Tonight, we're keeping it simple. We do have Mick Aussie, and I think Mick's our longest-standing guest, actually, somehow. Although he has been put in the penalty box a couple of times over the years, I believe. But Mick Aussie Mick was on early, like year 1.5 type thing, pretty quickly. I believe Mick was on the Team 990 when I was on the Team 990 in Montreal. Shout out to Jake, who said he started watching in 2019, right before the pandemic, and he enjoyed the Get Off My Lawn segments I was doing in the Studio 34. Yeah, I used to really freak those the diners out there, Jake. It's like an upscale restaurant, bro.
It is.
So like it's an upscale restaurant, there's like glass, and you'd have all these tourists, and they're paying like $40 for breakfast. They're paying like big money for food and stuff. They couldn't hear me, but they could see me in there. And I'm literally like spitting. There's like spit going on the glass, and I'm like breaking things. I'm like, finally they were like, all right, they requested that we close the curtain when I was on. So we closed the curtain. I was like I couldn't see what was going on. Yeah, I couldn't see what was going on. We weren't allowed to open the curtain until like after happy hour was over or something. It was like, they even said that bald guy freaks people out, man. He's always like doing something in there, like
They're $60 eggs Benedict, and you're going
because it's distracting too, right? You got kids eating and they're looking over at me like I'm doing a weird thing. Like people liked it, though. A lot of people loved it. But we enjoyed those shows. Hey, if the pandemic didn't hit, who knows? I mean, although I will say the one thing I do not miss, that everyday stuff, bro. Like Jersey traffic, Jersey turnpikes. It's like I was living in the Sopranos, man. Like in the middle of warehouses. I'm nearly getting killed by Uber drivers. Or like, I don't miss a lot of the. I used to travel like 4 to 5 hours a day in New York, New Jersey. Like in the morning, it would take me forever to get into Manhattan, even though I was right on the other side of the water. It was a pain. It's New York, man, in rush hour in the morning. And after, I'd have to go back to Jersey, and then after that, in the evening, I'd go out to the sports book to do the show at FanDuel. And you want traffic? Let me tell you, New Jersey, Manhattan traffic, like at 4 in the afternoon when I was leaving all the time. It was just constant stress. And just constant pressure. So that's the one thing I don't miss. All right, so 30-29 for the Miami Heat right now. The Kraken tied the hockey game up 1-1, and in fact, the Avalanche tied the Panthers up at 1 as well. So we had that golf showdown crap or whatever that nobody cared about in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and nobody really paid attention. They did a bad job promoting it. And just sort of out of the blue now, this TGL stuff that we've been hearing about for the last couple of years, Rory and Tiger Woods' golf league is set to begin tomorrow. So, they're off and running tomorrow. Nobody knows the format, so that's what we're here for. So what's this whole this stuff about? So the golf league. Number one, the question you need to know, can you bet on it? Yes. You can bet on so there's teams. So you can bet on the teams, and it's sort of like football, sports, whatever. They're going to play once a week, and it's going to be different teams that play, and then they're going to have a semifinal and a final. They're going to keep record of it, like a sports league. So the golf league starts tomorrow. They're doing it in Florida. They built like a special arena complex for this in Florida. They're hitting the ball. It's like the size of a football field, like an NFL football field. It's like 97 yards long, 50 yards wide. You've got stands on each side, and they have, Cam, a 64-high-foot simulation screen. State-of-the-art simulation screen. And the golfers are going to drive into the simulation screen, and then they're going to turn around and play the short game in the arena. They've got, like, bunkers in the green, and, so they're going to play part simulation, part real golf, putting, chipping, whatever, like short game stuff they can do in the arena. So those are the rules. I'm already sort of kind of confused when we get into best ball, alternate, blah, blah, blah. They do this. Team golf is always confusing somehow. But who's in the TGL? I can tell you what, there's some big-time names in this league. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, Colin Morikawa, Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose, Xander Schauffele, Max Homa, Adam Scott, Billy Horschel, Ludwig Aberg, Tommy Fleetwood, Shane Lowry, Tom Kim, Keegan Bradley, Sahith Theegala, Cam Young, Patrick Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Minwoo Lee, Kisner, Glover, and Hideki. All right, so these are the 6 teams, and I want to find out, XFL and UFL. We'll see who Cam's team is. Cam's going to get a jersey and a hat, and who's Cam's team going to be? The Atlanta Drive. Not a bad name. I guess it's not a bad name. It's a good name.
It is
Atlanta Drive GC. Golf. They had to do the GC just for you, Cam. Golf Club. They threw that in. Atlanta Drive GC. Atlanta Drive Golf Club. Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantlay, Billy Horschel, and Lucas Glover. That's a strong team right there.
Sure is, and it's interesting too because they're all like SEC guys, except for Cantlay.
Yeah, a lot of Georgia Bulldogs. SEC. Yeah. It's a Southern team.
Thomas is Alabama. Horschel went to Georgia, and Glover actually went to Clemson. So we have an ACC. But these guys are all Southern guys, except for Cantlay, who's a California kid. But Gabe, it's interesting. You said, what team am I going to like? And I've already looked at this team. I'll tell you, man.
Well, hold on. Let me go over the teams for people on the radio here. So,
sure. Go.
The Atlanta Drive, Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantlay, Billy Horschel, Lucas Glover. Boston Common, they went with the Irish team with Rory. Boston Common golf team. Rory McIlroy, Keegan Bradley, Adam Scott, Hideki Matsuyama. It's a damn good team internationally you got rolling right there. The Jupiter Lynx, the Burt Reynolds, Jupiter Mansion, Pop Pills, Get Drunk crew. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods. Max Homa brings the weed. I don't know what Tom Kim, Kevin Kisner. Tiger Woods, Max Homa, Tom Kim, Kevin Kisner.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go here.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Networks. Our 23rd anniversary tonight, January 6th, 2025. I can't even believe it's 2025, let alone we've lasted 23 years. So if we get to two more, our 25th anniversary will be in 2027. So we're creeping up there. We're getting there. Hopefully we can make it. George Kurtz will join us in a couple of minutes. Mick Aussie will step up and in as well. All right, so we were talking about the golf league and these teams. So yeah, Jupiter Lynx, Tiger Woods, Max Homa, Tom Kim, Kevin Kisner. We should note, you'll see sometimes there's like 4 guys on the team, sometimes, whatever. But you only need 3 golfers, so they'll sort of rotate, like 3 guys. You need 3 guys to play in the game. Los Angeles Golf Club, Justin Rose. See, this is a prestigious one. Justin Rose, Colin Morikawa, Sahith Theegala, and Tommy Fleetwood. They're a load to deal with. That's a good team. The New York Golf Club, Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele, and Cameron Young. And then finally, in closing, this really is the international crew. The Bay Golf Club, Shane Lowry, Wyndham Clark, Ludwig Aberg, and Min Woo Lee. There are no live players playing in this. The format, each of the 6 teams will play the other 5 teams once, with the winners of each match getting 2 points. 1 point awarded for a loss in overtime, similar to the National Hockey League. Top 4 teams in the league, after all round-robin matches, each have been played. We'll move into the semifinals and then play with 2 making it to the final. 3 versus 3 matches over 15 holes, divided into 9 holes of triples and 6 holes of singles. Triples involve all 3 golfers playing alternate shot before they go head-to-head in singles, with 3 players playing each 2 holes against an opponent. Each hole is worth 1 point. There are no ties or carryovers. The most points after 15 holes wins, and a tie forces overtime, which is nearest to the pin competition. They use a KIT launch monitor, which I guess is the best simulation golf screen in the business. There's a 40-second shot clock to ensure that the events are in the 2-hour or under range. They want to get it cut for TV, 2 hours. You can call timeouts. Each team has 4 timeouts. And for the record, I don't know why they added this, but there are no caddies. What do you need a caddy for? But like I said, there's a virtual caddy system. There's a virtual caddy system on the TGL monitors for distance, so bagmen are not involved. The screen is 64 by 53 feet, and the event, they built a purposefully built arena for this. It holds 1,500 people, 97 yards long, 50 yards wide. It's in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. All right, Cam, so who's going to win this event? Who's your team?
Well, it's funny, Gabe. Your team that won the World Series is now my team for golf. I'm going from the dumpster to the rich. Hello, LA Golf Club.
The LA Golf Club.
Morikawa, one of the best players in the world. Tommy Fleetwood, best ball striker. Theegala hits it a mile, and Rose, the crafty veteran. I think if you're looking at 2 teams talent-wise, I think Boston Common and LA are the 2 best teams. So that's Boston Common. Rory, Hideki Matsuyama won the opening tournament of the year, guys. If you watch this weekend, he looked fantastic. Adam Scott and Bradley, that's a wicked team. But LA with Morikawa, Fleetwood, Theegala, and Rose. That's my team, Gabe. LA Golf Club wins it all. They're plus. They're the first or second choice, depending on your book. I see plus 360.
Plus 350.
Yeah, I got one on plus 360 on one of my books. That's the best price.
Looking at this, I agree. And LA catch my eye as well. I got to say, though, I think that the international guys, the Bay Golf Club at plus 500, could be in the mix here. These guys, it's a deep team, bro, of players that have won before. Shane Lowry, Wyndham Clark, Aberg, Min-Woo Lee. I could see these guys having fun and adapting to this sort of form. That's another thing, too, Cam. It's a golf simulator. You're in an arena. Like, some guys are going to be, like, freaked out, like, oh, yeah, I want to play, until they play in it. They're going to be like, oh, this is harder than I thought, or this isn't, some guys are going to be like, oh, this is funner than I thought even. I like this. So who knows how? Is Justin Rose going to be able to putt in an arena? We're going to find out.
It's a good point, but and match 1, you said it, it's a weekly tournament, and the first match is Bay versus New York Golf Club, and even though New York Golf Club's good, Schauffele didn't have a good tournament this week. He's not in good form.
I'm taking the Bay Golf Club. I'm going with the Bay.
I already bet them, Gabe, plus 105, buddy. I think they're 100 on one book that we both shop at, but they're the dogs in this match, and I've already bet it. Give me the Bay in the first match.
Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele, Cameron Young versus Shane Lowry, Wyndham Clark, Aberg, and Min-Woo Lee.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. I see Sean Murphy saying one of these guys going to retire. They're getting old like Ron McClain.
That's amazing.
I don't know how old Ron McClain is, to be honest. If I had to guess, I would say 67. Or is he
63.
younger? Is he one?
Yeah,
you know what?
yeah,
I think you're right. I think Ron McClain's one of these dudes that's younger, and I think he just looks older.
Yeah.
Because he actually does know a lot about music and stuff. Like, he knows the words to every track, like hip song, whatever. Yeah.
Wow, it's close.
Yeah, you're
64.
right.
64. 64. 1 year off. Born April 12th, 1960, Ron McClain.
Well, speaking of old, our boy Don Cherry, he was banished from television, but he tweeted out something yesterday, and I actually agreed with him about the World Junior Championships. And he said, these other teams, and he's right. He said, Team Canada needs to hire a permanent coach. Nobody ever talks about that, Cam. They always bring in like some new coach every year. They throw these kids together, and like the coach gets mad, and he only likes his guys. And it's sort of like, think about it like a national soccer teams, bro. They have a coach.
Yes.
It's like, no, this is the coach of the team. And you know what I mean? They should basically sign a coach and say, listen, there's pressure, yes, but you're the World Junior coach for the next 4 years, bro. It's your program. We want you to run it. You're going to, you know what I mean? And like, not USA. Let's hire some. Yeah, they have the same coach. They have the same, they have the same coach, though. Like Cherry was saying, like Finland and these people, too. They have the same under 18 coach. They have the same 16-year-old coach. Like, they teach a system along the way up. Canada, Cam, it's like 1 year we got a dude from the Quebec League. Another year it's like, the Ontario hockey. Like, they're always throwing in these different styles. Oh, this guy wants to play offense. This guy wants to do this. It's never really cohesive enough. But congratulations to the USA for winning. Although, dear God, Finland, man, you really let them off the hook, man. You were up 3-1 on the U.S. and a chance of real greatness. Like, that would have been a new miracle on ice. Finland winning it all. They lost 4-3 in overtime.
It was amazing, Gabe. And I'll tell you, the USA in overtime, and I watched that thing. It was amazing. All the sports were going on at the same time, the football game, and I'm watching this Finnish goalie stand on his head.
The football game was.
Oh, it was
the
way
football
better.
Game sucked.
It was way better. Now, watching Sam Darnold play instead of the USA Finland's tender, this guy was like an acrobat, man. It was beautiful. USA had a lot of good players on their team, and they kept on grinding. Finally, they got that breakaway and got it done. And you said it. Their coach wins at every level. That's back-to-back goals, and he sticks with the system. You couldn't be more right. And Finland has the same unit as well. So couldn't agree with Don Cherry more. Stop screwing around, Canada, and keep the same guys there. It hurts the team. But great performance by the States.
Well, that's just why one thing we could say about the Canadian men's national team, they have done that. The pro guys are a little bit different. They understand, and they basically told John Cooper, listen, you're in charge. Right, yeah. Four Nations Cup and then the Olympics after you're the coach. Rick Talkin of the Vancouver Canucks is the assistant coach of Team Canada. USA go back-to-back in the World Juniors. USA have been pretty dominant, man, in like the not just World Juniors, but under 16, this and that. And USA hockey's never been hotter than it is right now, but nobody in the USA knows. But as far as Canada is concerned, Canada's ego is starting to get put in check a little bit. The Four Nations Cup is coming up in a couple of weeks now. That'll be the next little mini test. And even though this is just a little mini exhibition, trust me, the Canadian media is going to panic. They don't really care about the World Juniors. The only one network cares about it, and they hype it up because they have the rights to it. If Canada loses, does not win this Four Nations Cup, there's going to be people are going to be like, oh, we need a government panel, and there needs to be a study, and oh shit, we need people to testify, what is wrong, and why? How did you lose to Latvia? And it's going to be bad. They're going to bring Sidney Crosby in. Sidney, well, what happened in the Four Nations Cup? Are you ready for the Olympics? It's a little tournament, but they're going to need to win it. Let's bring in George Kurtz. And for the record, USA are plus 170 for the Four Nations Cup. Canada are plus 170 for the Four Nations Cup. Sweden are plus 400. Finland are plus 650. And I'm telling you all right now, I'm putting my passport on the table here, and I'm on Team IKEA. I'm predicting Sweden wins the Four Nations Cup.
Cheap furniture, but great
hockey. I'm dead serious. I was so mad. I was like, man, I should have taken Finland. Dude, everyone's like Canada or U.S. You just take Sweden or Finland, Ken. That's the value. And then they get to the final, and you're laughing. Sweden versus Canada in the final. You got Sweden plus 400 in your back pocket. There's a lot to work with. George, who are you taking to win the Four Nations face-off?
I'm going to go run USA, right? Win the juniors. I'll stay at home here. I'll be a home here and take Team USA. Might have the best goaltender in the tournament here. Let's still the depth there.
Love George.
I'm going to be the homer. Give me Team USA.
USA is good,
Where's
man.
my flag?
I'm with George, kind of, Gabe. Our goaltending, their goaltending kills our goaltending too. I don't think Canada's going to. I'm not sure they're going to win this tournament. I don't think they should be the favorite, to be honest with you. Good players, great defense.
Canada's starting goalie, most likely, Jordan Binnington.
Yeah,
won a Stanley Cup before.
George is silent on this. He also has an .890 save percentage this year.
I know.
Am I correct?
And he also has a bigger temper than me. He's a hothead too.
Yeah.
It's he's not
going to
right
beat
for
the
this.
crap out of somebody. That's what he's going to do.
He's going to start an international incident. You're right. He's going to hit a Finnish dude in the face and clip him in the eye or something and start a riot. George.
He has been better this year as far as keeping his temper under control. I don't think he's done anything that was what the hell are you thinking of as far as attacking another player here. The problem with Team Canada is that, I might have been silent no matter who you said, right? It's unbelievable I think Team Canada doesn't have a top goaltender. When you think about Canada, right? And goaltenders, through the history, they've always had that. It's almost like the Los Angeles Dodgers and pitchers always had an ace. And Team Canada doesn't have. I mean, they don't have a top
Quebec
tier goaltender.
You know what it is, George? It starts from my hometown. Quebec sort of got boxed out of the American, you know what I mean? The American factories out of business by China. The Quebec goaltending factory got put out of business by Sweden and Finland. Think about it. Think about you just talking about all right, I can't believe Canada didn't have great goalies. Who are their great goalies? Martin Brodeur from Montreal, Quebec. Patrick Roy, Montreal, Quebec. Roberto Luongo, even Montreal. Marc-Andre Fleury, Montreal, Quebec. Right? You go down the list. You know what I mean? Think like goalies were always, from Quebec all the time. You always had these French sort of studs. I know there was a few others from Western Canada and whatnot. But
system, Gabe. The goalies were from Quebec. The big killer defensemen were from the WHL, big like Duncan Keith and Seabrook and these guys. And the forwards were a mixture of French fast, Ontario, and Western tough. That was the recipe. You just add ingredients and stir because the goalies were great.
Well, Team Canada loses because the Ontario bias. You and your Ontario goons, Cam. The OHL crew.
OHL crew? I said Western Hockey League, Quebec, and Ontario. Ontario goon crew.
That's fine. No, all kidding aside, though. That was the beef. That was the beef of this Team Canada. Yeah. That it was like, yeah, whatever, man. You took all, the coach, you took all Ontario Hockey League kids.
I agree.
And it was like, where's the toughness of the WHL? And where's the skill of the Q? Where's the French kids that can put the puck in the net? But whatever. Ontario's the center of the little universe, right, of Hockey Canada. So it's like, wow, Ontario Hockey League. Wow. No, it's true. I'm just being real. Yeah. There's a bias. And it's like college football, Cam. There's certain conferences. They're like the SEC, but they're not. If you look at the Memorial Cups over the last years, it's the Q and the Western Hockey League that wins. It's not the Ontario Hockey League's taken a step back. It just has over the last few years.
They got good players. The number one prospect's going to be from the Ontario Hockey League, but on the whole, they should make it more diversified. I agree with your comment. There's a little too much Ontario bias involved. I will agree with that.
I think the Western Hockey League is the best one. Ken says Ted Nolan would be.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in the set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency, the pistol players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, and everybody else in between. Gotta love the international events. Can't wait. Next year, it's going to be the Olympics. That's going to be legit and lit. Man, it's coming up, man. You have the Olympics, hockey, the World Cup, which felt like, the World Cup is coming to North America. That felt like it was so long ago, 2026. And I want to thank FIFA for continuously sending me emails telling me I'm eligible to buy tickets, and I am not. Like, these tickets are impossible to get for the World Cup, but I already looked. They're on the market right now. It's like $2,000 a ticket for Team Canada and Team USA games. So, yeah, the World Cup's coming up, not this summer, but next summer, 2026. The Olympics are next winter in 2026. And this little Four Nations face-off is kind of just it's an exhibition for them, right? To get ready and sort of, all right, get a feel for it. They're not going to have a lot of practices together before the Olympics next year. So this is a little precursor. It's a dress rehearsal. So it's not a real tournament, but we can bet on it. And the media will go crazy about it, especially the NHL media will go crazy about this. Canada plus 170, USA plus 170, Sweden plus 400, Finland plus 650. One thing I'll say, Kurtz, about the goaltending, it's a short tournament, bro. It's not 82 games. Yes, and you got guys that have won Stanley Cups. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Vegas Golden Knights and Binnington, Canada's thinking is, well, our goalie won't have to stand on his head. We'll play well in front of him. It could be wishful thinking. We're going to find out. But Canada's D is pretty damn good.
I think it is wishful thinking, but I also think there's validity to it. We all know a goaltender can steal a game, can steal a series. We see it over and over again. So I think that's what they're hoping for. I just don't know if my first choice would have been Binnington. I think he's just not the right guy. It could go very well, but if he gets up a sore, he gets in his head, then he gets all crazy. I think I would have chosen. I just don't think I would have gone with Binnington. I don't think he's the right choice here.
Who do you pick?
I think
you don't pick Stu Skinner? No.
No, not Skinner. Skinner be third.
Well, the three is Hill.
Aiden Hill?
It is Hill. It's Binnington, Hill, and Montembeault. Those are the three that are going.
I think Montembeault might have been my choice. And he's playing well now. I understand we still got,
it's not made up, George. It's not like Binnington's locked in to be the starter. I'm just stating that, you know what I mean? And Montembeault, I like Montembeault's honesty. He basically said, I'm not going there to sit on the bench. He goes, I want to show them and play as well as I can going into February that I'm the guy for Team Canada going into the Olympics. Like, that's the thing, guys. To us, it's an exhibition, but to the players, there's players competing for Olympic spots, guys. Like, this is a big deal, George, for a lot of people.
Yeah. You hear it all the time watching the NHL Network and all the shows they do. These guys want to win. I mean, I will watch, all right, but I mean, the Russians aren't involved. I understand why and all the politics, but I mean, that weakens it. I mean, that's a pretty strong country as far as international hockey is concerned. Not to have them, in my mind, is silly.
The Montreal Canadiens have a young defensive core, and Montembeault is playing great. You have to look at ahead of you. Like St. Louis has veteran guys on their team. They pick up Cam Fowler from the Ducks and stuff. So I look at Montembeault's work on a younger team in comparison to the other guys and say, I think he's more impressive because of what he deals with on a nightly basis. And he's
I would choose Hill over him too. I mean, I think Binnington would be third on my list. I think Montembeault, Hill, Binnington would be my choice.
That's my ranking as well. I agree with you.
Yeah, you'll have Montembeault, you're right, playing in front of a good team for the first time ever. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be even better. Like he's he's got to stand on his head right now. But yeah, there's time to figure it out. And listen, the USA goalie pool is extremely deep, but Hellebuck is obviously the number one goalie.
Yeah, does that scare anybody a little bit, by the way? I know it's the Jets and Team USA. It's different, but Jets always play well in the regular season, then fall apart. Hellebuck's part of that problem when the games really matter in the playoffs here. So that's in the back of my head as well. How's he going to do in a?
I like that you're stressing out about the Jets goalie.
I love it. It's amazing. I love it.
He's yours to worry about, not ours. Yeah, these are their goalies, though. Dear, you got Hellebuck, Jake Ottinger, and Swayman. Man, it's not bad.
Oh, very good. Very good. Ottinger's another guy, though, Gabe. I've seen him in big games, whatever. Like Swayman stands on his head. Like he started off a little bit slow, but Swayman's damn good. Like that's like he'll get in form and he'll be fantastic.
Listen, one guy is going to get screwed on every team, right? So you got three goalies. One guy's going to get screwed and be in the press box. And I imagine there'll be a feeling out process with the other two guys. There's only 3 games, guys. There's only 4 teams.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing around. You're playing around robin against everybody. 3 games, and then boom, you're into the semifinal and the final. Right? This thing is like boom, boom, boom. It's like a 10-day tournament. And just for the record, everybody, all the games are being played in 2 cities, with the final being played in Boston. Montreal and Boston is where the tournament will be taking place. That's pretty cool, too. The players had to say it and stuff, and they all thought that those were two great hockey cities. And, they needed two great hockey cities that were close to George from travel. Like, it wouldn't, you could say, oh, this is a great city, but, like, it's like, no, all right, we're going to play in Canada because we can sell the tickets, we know. And number two, what about, like, U.S.? So, Boston, Montreal. Brad Marchand said the other day, he goes, I'm really looking forward to it because it'll be the first time I'm going to play at the Forum and I won't get booed in Montreal or the Bell Center.
Exactly.
And I said, no, don't kid yourself, bro. You're still going to get booed. Like, I guarantee you, they're still going to step up with something to say to them. All right, so speaking of hockey right now, the Avalanche have taken a 2-1 lead. Who you on, Captain Chalk, tonight? I'm assuming the New Jersey Devils, like Cam?
Yes, I am on the New Jersey Devils. I don't know what's going on in the game because I can't watch it because Altice and my network are still fighting, so I can't watch the Islanders. That's why they won yesterday.
I can't watch it either.
Can't watch the Islanders, Devils, Rangers, Knicks, Nets. That's all off the air here on Long Island, so sucks.
Wow,
can't watch the
that's a
game
lot.
Here. Oh, yeah.
A lot of
there's going to be some problems here. I know.
Big time.
Yeah, it's not Islanders. I think it's the Knicks are the biggest. Islanders and Rangers suck, so they won't catch too much backlash from that. But I know the Knicks are playing very well. Knicks fans are up in arms about not being able to watch their team.
For sure.
That's what they're trying to hold them hostage for, right? That's what they have in their negotiations. That Knicks fans are going to get upset, but whatever, dude. It's hard to take sides with these stuff. Everybody's greedy in this world. So 2-1 Avs right now and 1-1 Devils and Kraken. We're on the under. 9 minutes left in the second period.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Let's do this thing. Our 23rd anniversary show continues on the Monday Night Meltdown. Mick Aussie will join us in a couple of minutes. Speaking of old school, Mick Aussie's been around since the early days. Speaking of which, he's in the green room. He's going to He's going to join us after George Kurtz will. So we got this hockey going on right now, and it's sort of the calm before the storm. It's going to be 5 straight days of blitz of football. And on Thursday night, Friday night, for the record, I thought we were going to be done for the most part with the Monday and Thursday YouTube shows that we were doing. But due to popular demand, we're going to do it this Thursday and Friday for the college football semifinal games, and on Monday for the Monday night game, the Rams and the Vikings. So we've got a couple of more, and then we'll have one more for the national championship game on January the 20th on YouTube. So for all of you who enjoy the YouTube shows, we still have about 3, 4, 5 of them left still before the season is done. This will be the last time that we speak to George Kurtz before the NFL playoff game. So, Kurtz, what are your best bets for the NFL playoffs now that you've had time to contemplate the games?
To contemplate the games, yeah. I think I am very curious about the Monday night game. You know, how Minnesota bounces back. Sam Darnold. That game is got me scared a little bit. I'm going to take the Rams in this game. I think that's what I feel best about here. I just think the week off, I don't trust Darnold anymore. I just don't. I don't know what happened there. Rams beat him earlier in the season as well. Yeah, so I like the Rams in that game. The other NFC game on Sunday night, I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair in Washington and the Bucs here. I'm going to like Tampa Bay in that one. I think points are going to be put up on the board. Take the over in Tampa Bay. I like Buffalo over Denver, but if you want my favorite, I like the under in that game. Was it 47.5? I just don't think it's going to be a track meet. I think Denver wins kind of comfortably, maybe by 10 points, but I don't think it's going to be, 41-10.
Buffalo.
I like Buffalo. Buffalo wins the game, but I think it's an under. Under's my favorite play. There'll be a million props. I'm sure Allen's going to score a touchdown like everybody else on the planet here. I like Baltimore to beat Pittsburgh. And last night you asked me I was going to take Pittsburgh. I'm starting to shy away from that. Maybe I don't bet it at all. If it's 9.5, I think by the time I figure this out, it's going to be double digits anyway. I'm starting to think that maybe Buffalo does beat up the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Baltimore. You're all over the place, Kurt.
Baltimore bees. I'm thinking of the bees. Baltimore beats the Steelers.
I'm like, what the hell is Kurt saying? He's rattled. He's missing his channels. No Devils game.
Yeah, this is what happens when I can't watch hockey at night.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm looking at a black screen. I should have.
I'm just thinking of somebody that's watching the closed captioning and they're thinking, "What the hell is this guy talking about?"
Denver by 10 game over Buffalo. I love George. That was awesome.
Buffalo over Denver. Yeah. But I like the under in Buffalo. I just I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo. I haven't checked. It's going to be bad. I do know, by the way, for those wondering, that the weather in the Northeast, they are saying we could get a cold storm this weekend. All right, so it's not definitive right now.
It's not that bad.
For one.
Here it is, minus 18 right now. That's pretty cold.
That Arctic blast thing, though, George, it's like hitting like the North Dakotas and the South Dakotas and like the East Coast. It won't be, you know what I mean? They're not getting the full out Arctic blast.
Coastal storm, though, they don't mean cold. They mean precipitation. Coastal storm generally means rain and heavy rain. Generally, that's why they call it. Another word for it be a
What's
nor'easter.
the coast of Buffalo? What's the coast of Buffalo?
It'd be Philadelphia. It'd be the worry. Philadelphia would be the worry game you're talking about there.
Coast of Buffalo, Cam. Am I missing?
I love the coast of Buffalo. That's the best.
Possibly
Chippewa Street.
Yeah, definitely Chippewa Street. That is the coast of Buffalo. Great.
Niagara Falls coast. No, just for the record, no, it's Denver though and Buffalo. You got two cold weather teams. The temperature. So they're playing Sunday afternoon. George is right though. Snow showers.
Yep.
20% of snow showers. Temperature's 30 degrees. That's balmy for Buffalo. So whatever.
Oh, that's 30. That's even. That's fine. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's
let's see Baltimore weather.
Probably around. I'm going to say 36. Probably it'll be a little bit.
I already checked the other day all this stuff. Baltimore's under a winter. I see a winter storm warning right now, as we speak. They're playing Saturday. How about this? 34 degrees and sunny on Saturday.
But at night,
that's +1. That's balmy for football.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. It's 60-58 right now, midway through the third quarter of play. Really low-scoring game. I thought it'd be a little bit higher score than this in Sacramento. In-game total all the way down to 194.5 right now. Heat up a two-spot. The game is basically a pick-em right now. Meanwhile, we did jump in on Minnesota, and I got a bad number at plus 1.5. And, of course, the game went to overtime, so I've looked away just not to stress out about it. And the Minnesota Golden Gophers are leading 72-70 right now with 39 seconds left. And I'm getting plus 1.5 against Ohio State. So let's see what happens there. I want to bring up a lot of people I see online are having fun with there's another lawsuit in the industry. And people don't like Skip Bayless. So they're glad that it's Skip Bayless. Even Shannon Sharp is dancing on the grave right now. For those of you that are interested in that type of stuff, you know the story, and I don't know, whatever, it is what it is. But I'm the last person to stand up for Skip Bayless, but the one part that I have a hard time believing that Skip Bayless offered anybody $1.5 million to have sex. He seems like the type of guy that would have a hard time tipping $1.50 at a Starbucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, you really just Skip Bayless is throwing around that type of money to sleep with the makeup girl? That's a lot of money. like, you know what I mean? Like, if the accusation was, listen, he offered me $10,000 to have sex with him, I'd be like, I remember, like, she said, oh, Skip Bayless offered me $1.5 million to have sex with me. I'm thinking, I don't know. Like, I'm not disputing that he hit on you or it was inappropriate, blah, blah. I'm not questioning her. I'm just stating, if I was on the jury, I would question. I'd say this guy looks like a cheap son of a bitch. Like, I really doubt he was offering $1.5 million. Like, how much money does he really make? It's a lot of money. You know what I mean? What are you, like Robert Redford in Indecent Proposal? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
No, you're right. You don't have to offer that. That's the thing. Like that. I'm with you, Gabe. That's so, like, come on, use your head. Who's offering $1.5 million? It's
a lot of money.
How many to sleep with somebody?
Well, it makes him look horrible, though. She claims that the makeup girl, the longtime makeup girl on his shows, basically said that he got inappropriate over the years, and and he was overly flirtatious. and she told him basically that she had cancer, and she thought that would like throw him off of her. She said, right now I'm suffering, I've got cancer. And he responded, she alleges, by stating, well, I'll help you out. If you sleep with me, I'll give you $1.5 million for the treatment, which makes him look like a real monster, right? Like, wow. So, but I'm just stating, I don't know, like, okay, if it's true, then God, that is bad. But it is very salacious. The internet is blowing up about it. And I'm not even going to get into the other people involved in it, but that was just the part that stuck me. I read the whole report and the lawsuit, and I saw the $1.5 million. I'm thinking Skip Bayless doesn't seem the type that like would be offering that type of money. But that was just my thought. But it should be noted in the lawsuit, and Colin Cowherd is having a nice night tonight. Cowherd had the same like makeup crew as all these people. There's like 6 people that are getting sued and this and that, and all these people are getting dragged through the mud right now at FS Sports 1 and Fox Sports. And the lawsuit states that the only person that is not basically a problem was Colin Cowherd. She said, dealing with Colin Cowherd for the last 16 years or whatever, he's been nothing but courteous and professional. Like everyone else is a pervert, like wants to sleep with her. So somehow Cowherd, like Colin Cowherd looks like an angel tonight. People are all like, Cowherd comes across looking good doing this.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It's a lot of salaciousness going on there. Oh, God. It's 68-62 for the Heat right now. Let's bring in Mick Aussie's in the green room. 23rd anniversary show. And I believe, Mick, you have the honor of being the longest standing guest on the program. I can't really think of anyone else like who's a regular that was on in like year one. You know, even there's some people, Teddy and Merrill and stuff. They're pretty old days, but not that old. I'm at a loss, Mick. You've outlasted everybody, Mick. Somehow you're still alive. Look at you. What's up, Mick Aussie?
You're still alive.
Yes, I'll take it. I remember it distinctly. I went and filmed the Montreal Alouettes winning the Grey Cup here in 2002. I emailed a few radio stations. You got back to me. I listened on the media player and said, this guy's crazy. This will be good. Then you said, yep, Mick, you're on for 6 weeks. So that's how it started, mate. So 22 years and 2 months. There you go.
Old school, is that there's the old days, the Grey Cup, when Copeland returned the onside kick for the touchdown and they covered because of it. The game went over and all that. That was a great football moment. Yeah, time flies. And I told people, you know, our first show was when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl. And then after, you know, there was the Nipplegate Super Bowl when we were in Houston, which feels like a million years ago. And here it is now. The Super Bowls just keep coming. New Orleans coming up next, fast and furious. And throughout all those years, man, it's hard to believe the Buffalo Bills have never made it. We've never made it back. I keep hoping that one of these years I'll be like, you know, doing the media row stuff and it'll actually be the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. And the Bills take on Mick's Denver Broncos. You know, I've been courteous, Mick, with the Broncos so far this year, but this week you're the enemy, so now I'm going to have to refer to you like the old SportsRage legend, Mike from the gas station, the Denver Donkeys. The Denver Donkeys take on the Buffalo Bills this week.
Legend, Mike from the gas station. That's the best.
Mike from the
Mike from the gas station. That's
yeah,
so
Mike from the gas station. He actually was, Cam, one of those dudes like overnight in the gas station in the winter. He'd be like, yeah, it's like minus 40, Morency. He'd be sitting there calling in from the gas station. That's Mike from the gas station.
That's so true, Gabe, because those guys at the Shell, the same thing. Like, that's a perfect job for late night radio because you got like one guy
sit there and listen to the radio and call in the shows. Yeah.
Mike from the gas station. I love it. So
he became Raider Nation, and what's crazy is he met his wife at one of my shows at a road rage.
Wow.
So I brought. There's been marriages because of the show. Became Raider Nation. So shout out to Mike and Rita, wherever you guys are. No. So it's been a while, Mick, but yeah, so I saw the Bronco fans. I retweeted the video. The Bronco fans were chanting, we want Buffalo. at the end of the game the other day. So you got what you wanted. You got the Buffalo Bills, Mick. Are you ready for it? You ready to go? You going to knock my Buffalo Bills off?
Well, it's the first time we've made the playoffs since, yes, I'm not meant to mention this to you, but I'm allowed to tonight, since we won Super Bowl 50. Well, there we go. I'll send this to you for a present if you want, but we haven't made it since then. But I will not be wearing this jersey. The Von Miller will not be worn. That can go in the rubbish bin for the next week. And then I love it because he was MVP. So, yes, we have not played playoffs for 8 years. But I tell you what, I like us on the plus 8.5. But the thing is, this is the key, I think. Playoff experience is huge. So you'll probably watch a few of the wide receivers from Denver might drop a few passes, a few penalties. That's the thing, when nerves get you and the penalties and a few mistakes. Yep. So for that reason, sure, I think Buffalo will win. But we're a chance. We are definitely a chance. And we beat you there last year, even with the rotten Russell Wilson playing.
I gotta tell you, Mick and Gabe, that Mims, the receiver Mims on Denver, take a look at his number. This guy's on fire right now. It's actually stupid how good he's playing. Yeah. Like wicked. Like he's on fire.
One advantage that the Bills have, or whatever, they're a better team, but the Broncos, Mick, and you know this, you're not a great running team. The Bills' kryptonite is running the ball right down their throat. And Denver doesn't have that. I think that's going to be the difference in this game.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in the set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
We've got a real Big Ten battle going on right now. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are up 73-71 on that team from Ohio. 7 seconds left in the basketball game. They just can't close it. They had a lead late. Ohio State came back. It's been an overtime. Now Minnesota's been up by 3, but this last 20 seconds has taken 5 minutes, 10 minutes type, but it feels like taking forever. They keep fouling. Basically, Minnesota didn't want Ohio State taking a 3, so they fouled them. right? And Ohio State doesn't have a choice. They just fouled Minnesota. So we're playing a little free throw game. And Minnesota is trying to, they're up by 2 right now. At least if they're trying to get up 4 so the 3 doesn't burn them and we don't go to double overtime. Mick Aussie in the house with us. So, yeah, as I was saying, I do agree. And Minnesota misses the freaking free throw. Dear God, Minnesota. Nothing's easy with you guys, huh? Just hit the next one. That never ends with these guys. Like they say with their foot, like Minnesota sports, never easy. They're one of those programs. Nothing comes easy for them. I'll tell you guys, he missed both free throws. Ohio State has the ball now, down 2 with 4 seconds left. They just called timeout.
Tell them to hit a 3. You don't need a 2. Then you got overtime again. You got 1.5.
You're right. If they hit the 3, I get out of here. I don't even care.
Yeah, hit a 3 at the buzzer and get out of there. That's the worst. Guy misses both free throws. That's brutal.
Oh, you can't make this up. They just fouled them down 2. Now they're going to the line. They're going to tie the game.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. That is so stupid.
Minnesota's doing everything possible. And of course the kid on Ohio State hits his. Seriously, buddy on Minnesota, you just screwed us by missing those free throws hard, man. Here's the last one here. Come on, miss. He's going to make it. We're going to go to double overtime.
Are you watching it on the site, Gabe? The ball just bouncing on the court. I'm like watching. It's all like a hologram. Yeah, he made it. Of course he did. 73-73.
73. Maybe Minnesota can hit a last-second shot on the way out. There's still 4 seconds left. Wow. Yeah. So I was going to say now the Miami Heat are starting to pull away a little bit. They're up 78-68. They're up 10 going into the fourth quarter right now. NHL hockey, Devils are up 2-1 on the Kraken after 2 periods of play. So originally, Mick, I said last night, I was like, I don't take Denver for granted. You are right. All the pressure's on Buffalo. Denver have nothing to lose. Sean Payton as well is going to have a couple of trick plays up his sleeve, knowing that he's going to have to steal a possession or 2 away from the Buffalo Bills, right? And like he did with the onside kick in the Super Bowl with the Saints, he is a good big game coach. So I'm expecting them to have some things dialed up, a trick play or 2 that we're not expecting, maybe a fake punt, blah, blah. But at the same point in time, it's been Denver are good, but Buffalo are really like dialed in right now. And I think in the end, guys, it's going to end up being like Buffalo win like 31-20 or something. I think they won't kill them, but they're going to cover the number. I think Buffalo will win by double digits when it's all said and done. Who's your pick, Mick, for the Chargers and the Texans?
Yes, that's I'm on the Chargers, and mate Arthur, you've met him at SportsRage. He is on fire with his picks. He likes the Chargers as well. Good coaching, mate. Harbaugh and Herbert and Texans haven't been as good this year. So I'll take the Chargers to win. Might be a push, -3. If not, I'll take the Chargers on the points, but don't really care. Don't like them, as you know. So arch rival with Denver. Probably win, though.
I think Harbaugh is going to get the W. And then, and after he would play the Kansas City Chiefs, which, Herbert and Harbaugh, KC off for nearly 3 weeks for 23 days, 25 days, whatever. I think the Chargers could actually have a chance of knocking them off if they could win this game. They're division rivals, too. Like, if the Chargers get through this, they could play with the Chiefs. Steelers are now getting 10, Mick. They're going to get murdered by Baltimore, your favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Russell Wilson. What do you think?
Your favorite team.
I hope they get destroyed. Absolutely, I do. But as we know, so many of these games are 3 points, except for the last one. I'll take the points with the Steelers, but definitely the Ravens to win. But talk about MVP. Everyone's talking Lamar Jackson. No way. Your boy Josh Allen should be MVP. I'm definite on that. They're talking rubbish today. And some chick on Fox said that Lamar might win it just because he played last week. That's ridiculous. Talk about every week of the year, not the last few weeks. Josh Allen for MVP for my liking.
The Green Bay Packers are getting 4.5 against the Eagles, another one of the teams that you like a lot. The Eagles. Who do you like in this game?
Oh, again, I hope I'm wrong on this one. Eagles to win, but like I said, Jalen Hurts hasn't played for weeks, so he might be rusty. But Watson done his knee, and I talked to his brother up here who's an elk for a while, so disappointing that Watson's out for the Packers, and Jordan Love hasn't been playing that good. Sadly, I'm going to take the Eagles to win, probably cover, but I hope I'm wrong on that one.
This is the one where I think there could be the upset. And I agree. The Packers haven't played well over the last month. The Packers aren't really they're not that good. They're okay. They can't beat good teams, right? If you look at the Packers, they've beaten bad teams, and when they play a good team, they lose. And the Eagles are a really good team. But as you stated, Jalen Hurts hasn't played in a while. He's still in the concussion protocol. He'll be cleared, but he hasn't played. Their offense is kind of hit or miss the Eagles. It could be really hot or it could be cold. And this is the playoffs now. Like, if you're the Green Bay Packers and if the defense could just sort of man up and just, if they can contain and shut down Saquon Barkley, right? Don't let that big run from Barkley. Make Hurts beat you throwing the football. We could have a game here, but losing Christian Watson really hurts them because he's so fast. He's their deep down the field threat. And you're right. Love has been okay. He's been good, but not great. I like Love. I think the injuries have caught up to him a bit this year. The Commanders, Mick, and the Buccaneers is a good one. Who are you taking here?
Oh, I think this is the toughest one of the weekend. Absolutely. Bucks can be up and down, as we know. Commanders are good, but they're not great. This is straight out a home field pick for me, without doubt. Because it's in Tampa Bay, I'm going to go for the Bucks, but they're up and down. I do like Baker Mayfield. He's got that team as a real team. So I'll take the Bucks, but it could be maybe the Commanders on the +3, but Bucks to win.
All right, we've only got 5 seconds. Vikings or Rams, Mick?
Yeah, I'll go Vikings. Well done with the Detroit Lions and that.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in the set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid.
The Monday Night Meltdown continues, although we're coming down the stretch right now. Couple of minutes left. Shout out to everybody who joined us. Thanks to all the everybody for the kind words online today. Our 23rd anniversary. Thanks to all of our guests and people who have made it work over the years. Hopefully we can get to 25. We'll have a giant-ass party. That'll be like the next big one. 2 years from now we'll plan. So stay alive, everybody, for the big bash in 2 years. And I think we'll have it in a couple of places too. We'll mix it up. We'll have like a little mini tour. So we're going to be on tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, Thursday night back to SiriusXM and YouTube. We're always on SiriusXM, but back to the YouTube show on Thursday and Friday night for the college football playoff games. And we have hypothetical college football playoff championship lines up right now. If you want to get a head start on this, the Texas Longhorns, 2.5-point favorites over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Ohio State Buckeyes would be 6.5-point favorites over Notre Dame. Ohio State would be 7-point favorites against Penn State. And Penn State would be 3-point underdogs against the Texas Longhorns. Thursday night's game is as close as it can possibly get between Penn State and Notre Dame. They're just so similar. They're so evenly matched. They both, they both have the same things, essentially. So it's really going to come down to a turnover here, a turnover there, and it's going to come down to coaching. Which coach is going to throw the other coach off a little bit? And I get the feeling that Marcus Freeman is the one that'll take more chances than Franklin. I think Franklin's going to rely on his talent, and he's going to do his thing. I think Freeman will be the one. It'll be like, you know what? Let's run a fake punt, right, and plan it out all week. We're going to run a fake punt. Let's run a fake field goal. I think Notre Dame will have something up their sleeve in this game. I'm not a big fan of Riley Leonard's skill set, the quarterback of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The kid can't throw the ball. Like Notre Dame's passing attack is very, very pedestrian. It's okay, you know what I mean? It's, I don't want to say it's terrible, but Riley Leonard's one of these just sort of dudes that finds a way. Like, you know what I mean? Sort of even Freeman said, he kind of looks like he's, kind of like a goofy kid and stuff, but he's a competitor and he has a knack for just sort of diving forward for those first downs and finding a way. I think Aller's more talented, obviously, but I could see Notre Dame's defense getting to them a little bit more. So I am going to, it's really, really tough, this game. They're both tough, but to me, I think the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to beat Penn State in this game. And also, is it really going to be an all Big Ten final? Right? I sort of get the feeling it's going to be Notre Dame and Ohio State, although I think Texas are being a little bit underestimated in this game. Cam, what's your pick for Ohio State and Texas?
We have the same take on both of these games. I'm actually going to bet Texas at +6. I think Ohio State is a great team, but they also have won games in blowout fashion. I think Texas will have a better plan. I think it's going to be closer. I think Ohio State might squeak out a win, but I'll definitely take the points in the over with Texas. And to your earlier point, Leonard's one of these guys, he's a grinder with his feet, but yeah, throwing it is an issue. I like Notre Dame, lean that way to the under. I know it's a very low total, but I see defense, and more defense in this game. I'd be surprised if they get 47.
Ohio State are a juggernaut right now. And they're clearly the team to beat when they're clicking. I mean, they're like an NFL team. They're locked and loaded. They've got 1 million NFL draft picks on the team. They don't have a weakness really, Ohio State. But with all that being stated, the Oregon Ducks, the Ducks are kind of like the Minnesota Vikings of the NFL. Like we've seen this before with the Ducks. They kind of climb the ladder, they get to the top, and they can't win a big game. So I'm not taking anything away from what Ohio State did against the Ducks, but, the Ducks choked last year against the Washington Huskies twice. The Ducks got drilled by Georgia as well. Like Lanning is sort of the West Coast version right now of Ryan Day. He's got to figure out a way to, okay, I never lose games, but I lose, I've lost 3 games and 4 games in 3 years or something, but I'm not winning championships. I got to figure out a way to win a big game. So Texas... Don't forget, Texas were in the playoffs last year, right? Quinn Ewers has played in these big games before. Sarkisian's been in these big spots before, unlike Dan Lanning. So I think the Longhorns won't get murdered like the Ducks did. But we'll have more picks tomorrow night and great guests. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.